Well, it's about damn time, guys. I had just watched the state of play. There were a lot of rumblings about a Final Fantasy Tactics remaster, remake, whatever you want to call it, and it is finally happening after so many years of speculation. This new Final Fantasy Tactics announcement, it's called Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles. Just very briefly, Final Fantasy Tactics is one of, if not my favorite game. Right, guys? So I'm always using sound effects, the bleeps, the bloops from the menu from Final Fantasy Tactics in my videos. So I'm very much over the moon that it is finally happening. So in this video, I want to basically go through the initial trailer, some things I spotted, and just kind of geek out for a bit, because I feel like as gamers, sometimes we're always chasing that dragon of like excitement, and essentially Final Fantasy Tactics is my first love. And it is a game, it is that feeling that I'm always trying to chase. So let's dive into the trailer. Now, starting off with the trailer here, you'll see that it's made by Creative Business Unit 3, or Creative Studio 3 now. They are the people who do Final Fantasy 14, and they also did Final Fantasy 16. From what I understand, they basically are the Ivalice team that they kind of transferred into that Final Fantasy 14 A Realm Reborn, but they came from Final Fantasy 12 from Tactics under Matsuno. But anyways, let's continue. So one of the first things that I think a lot of veterans of Final Fantasy Tactics are going to know is the animations of this new cinematic. This is new. This is brand new. The PSP version had a updated like animations as well. Looked very similar to this, but this is definitely an updated version of it. And I love that they kept the art style, and this looks really good. And next thing I want to point out here is the voice acting. Right out the bat there, that's Princess Ivalice.
Children of Ivalice, deliver us from our sins, that we might know salvation.
And so for the Ivalice Chronicles, it looks like it's fully voiced. And I do not believe that these are the same voice actors who did the PSP version. So it kind of sounds like we have a whole new voice acting cast. And then quickly after that, it goes right into the gameplay. One of the cinematics where Wygriff is basically taking out one of his subordinates. And the graphical style very much looks like Octopath Traveler 1 and 2. So kind of that 2D HD look. You can see that they basically have smoothed over the pixel art. And again, it's more of a smooth pixel animation. Some people are going to like that, some people aren't. But I wouldn't get too hung up about it because you'll see at the end there. So let's just continue. The next thing I want to point out here, we actually get the menu of the battle screens here. So you can see actually on the left-hand side the turn order. In the original game and then in the PSP version, this was not available. You couldn't see it. You had to go into basically another menu to see whose turn it was next. Now you get it all on one screen. This looks really nice. I also like Agrias's portrait there. It looks like it's been updated a little bit, but keeping to the same style. And you're getting a lot of the important information right there in the bottom left as far as her character. And the next thing I want to point out is the world map here. You can see it down at the bottom there. You basically get a synopsis of what's going on as far as current events. And this is like shortly after the 50-year war. And what you'll also notice here is on the world map, you see Ramza and Delita. So it's basically, I think, going to tell you which major characters are in your party while you're traveling. So it's basically just kind of like a nice little reminder of like the important characters that are in your party and traveling with you to whatever destination. You can also see Jirai up there in the right-hand corner. He's basically going through the history with you. The next thing that caught my eye was the job tree here. And it's basically like the professions or the classes in Final Fantasy Tactics. And you can see where they basically all culminate to is around that silhouette there, which looks like the mime. Now, the people who have played the PSP version know they added 2 more jobs to that version, and I don't see them on this like job tree here. So I don't know if they're trying to keep them as hidden jobs or something like that, but there's no way they're not going to have the Dark Knight and the Onion Knight for this version. I just think it's interesting that, yeah, you can't see it on the job tree here, and there's no like line leading to it. And that makes me wonder, are they going to add more jobs to this Ivalice Chronicles version of Final Fantasy Tactics? That'd be interesting. That'd be really cool. And this is probably the last time I'll talk about voice acting, but you can tell that they have the War of the Lions, the PSP version. That translation is very like Shakespearean. They use a lot of it in like Vagrant Story as far as the English translation. And I love the way the voice actors are delivering their lines. Very much like, again, Tactics Ogre Reborn. I like the way a lot of those characters, minor or even major characters, all deliver their lines. So I'm glad they basically kept that standard for Tactics here. And just at the end here, you see that we're both going to get the classic PS1 version and this enhanced version. Now with this enhanced version, you actually have to go to like the store page where it tells you, yes, they are going to be adding more like battle encounters and challenges on top of what they list here, which is the fully voiced dialogue, the updated interface, and then the adjustments to the story. So I'm curious about what they're going to change about the story. Hopefully not too much. Now, when can we get our hands on this game? Well, we get it on September 30th of this year. So it's coming out in a couple months, but what is it coming out for? Because in the state of play, it just listed PS4 and PS5. Well, again, you go to the store page, it's coming out on Xbox, it's coming out on Steam, and it also lists the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2. So all I can say to that is, hell yeah, I'm going to be buying this game 3 times essentially. There are some pre-order bonuses. Just being a veteran of the game and looking at those pieces of equipment, none of that is groundbreaking. I don't know what white equipment for Ramza is. It just could be like white robes. I don't know. But those other things there, the Mithril Knight, the spike boots, high potions, and the ethers, those aren't really a big deal. That's probably just the marketing team. And on top of the pre-order, there is a deluxe edition. Now this does have some interesting equipment that's not in either of the other 2 versions of the game. You got the Academy Blade, you got the Academy Barrette, Tunic, the Ring of Aptitude, and this is black equipment for Ramza and red equipment. I'm wondering if you can change how Ramza looks. I don't know, we'll see. But I will say these deluxe edition items, now these do look game altering. These do seem like they're actually big advantages you can receive. Like boost JP, that's really good. Raising a unit speed attribute, also really strong in Final Fantasy Tactics. I'm not the biggest fan of these items being put into a deluxe edition. Hopefully they're not locked behind that. If they are, that's not great, but I just want you to all be aware of, you know, that with the deluxe edition, yeah, it does come with new items. And then for the super fans, yeah, there's a collector's edition as well. I will probably be getting one of these too. I am absolutely going to be covering this game as much as possible. So if you are excited for Final Fantasy Tactics and the Ivalice Chronicles, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Let me know down in the comments what you guys are excited for with this version, what you hope that it brings. And then yeah, let's just geek out about Final Fantasy Tactics. This has been a long time coming. So I look forward to talking to you guys in the comments below. Peace and take care.